to thank y'all for having me. This is actually my first time playing in Tulsa. I think it's the second for these guys. Huh? Second? Yeah. It's a nice time. If anybody, look, if y'all live over here, I'm going to say this. This is one thing I've learned. I've only been here for like 5 hours in this city.
Has it been
But
that long?
the one thing that I have come to decide, if anybody here has a little capital and you were thinking, there's something I want to invest in, I want to build,
Get ready for
I want to
this.
set myself up for retirement, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to just hang out, make a stack of cash, and call it a day. If y'all open a convenience store that sells tobacco in this downtown district, you are outrageous. That is guaranteed money all day. You can sell Powerade and honey buns and cigarettes. You'd make $4 million by the end of the year. They in a convenience store #1 in like a 30-block radius.
We're going to come back next year and it's just going to be full of convenience stores.
It's going to be all convenience stores. That's it. They heard me from head of Saudi Arabia. They're going to take over this whole thing. I'm telling you right now, y'all got to get it. Because people like me showed up, we walking around sweating, dying. I ended up, y'all, I had to go back to the hotel. I got with the concierge. We called everybody in town. Forget it. You ain't about to find a cigarette and walk in Disney.
Everyone at the hotel is checking with him to make sure he got his cigarettes.
I'm serious. This is a real thing. I ended up having to call an Uber and drive to the damn suburbs. This is a true story, y'all. It cost me $7 to get to the gas station and $7 to get my ass back. And I got my cigarettes, but I'm just saying, if any one of you would have had a store downtown, that's money in your pocket. That's my money in your pocket. I'm just saying. Anyhow, look, we're going to play a little something. I wrote a little something off my first album. It's called Cher Créole. Go a little something like this.
Cher Yeah, it's what we call a waltz, y'all. Or you can call it a bass bop. You know? It's an original by Jourdan right here, y'all. He wrote that tune. It's called Cher Créole, and it's my dear Creole.
I'm from the big metropolis. I know y'all got some tall buildings, but let me tell you, I'm from the big metropolis of Cypress Island, Louisiana. You're welcome to look it up. You're not gonna find it on the map. It's a real secret. It's like Wakanda of South Louisiana. You can't find it no matter how hard you look.
So what happened to the hogs, Jourdan? Tell them what happened to the hogs.
Well, in 2016, they had a very big flood in South Louisiana that took out, I don't know, a lot. And I don't know, I lost a lot of hogs for that. The water was high enough. I don't know if any of y'all raise animals or have raised animals or raised on a farm or anything like that. But all of my fence lines with cattle fence, right? You understand, like big cattle gates, which is what, about a 5-foot gate. The water was high enough that I left my house to go in the back pasture. And I swam over the gate into my back pasture. And I rode my body boot up toward, they got a power line that crosses on the other end of my pasture. And I rode through, I swam through the woods to go and find the hogs. And then when I was getting toward the highland, I could see a little bit was poked up out the water. So I started calling them, you know the way I call them to come eat. Just a holler pig. I just holler the word pig and it all comes. And pig! Yeah, every animal I have, I just call them by the name of what animal they are.
Chickens!
Yeah, like, well, for chickens I say birds. Birds! And all the birds come running. For goats I say cabri, and all the goats come running. For the cows I say evash, and all the cows come running. Anyway, so I'm hollering pigs.
So the birds, no, who speaks
So
French?
the birds, but the cows.
The cows speak
Right,
French.
yeah. It's a multicultural situation. Not every animal, you see, not all of them was born around us. So, you gotta, it's diction, you know, speak to who you speak to. And anyhow, so I'm swimming out there and I'm hollering for these pigs because I'm so concerned that I'm like, where's my damn hogs? I hope, because I had about 100 in the back of the house. And then all of a sudden, here they come, and I could see them over there hollering when they jumped in that water coming toward me, and I got to thinking, I was like, I can't touch the ground. And I don't know if y'all got a dog or anything, but when something thinks you got food, it's gonna come and jump on you, you know? And I got like 50 animals that weigh 500 pounds that's about to come try and climb on me when I can't touch in the water. If you ever felt a panic like that, let me tell you, I turned around, I was swimming that thing like I was a damn mosquito hawk taking off on the water. Anyway, so about them hogs, one day me and my little girl was going out there to feed some hogs, and like I said, if you've ever raised animals, if you've ever raised hogs or rabbits specifically, you can start off with a few, and next thing you know, you got a whole lot. And one day we went out there to feed, and I was looking at the amount of feed we were putting out, and I was like, this is a lot of money in feed. I better sell some hogs, this is getting rough. And anyway, I wrote a little song about a little something called Mes Tits Cochons. And it says, oh, my little pigs, they were day and night. And it said, oh, look, my old boy, what you done me? You done bred all them sows. Now, I got all these mouths to feed, my pockets is hurting. And the last verse says, oh, my old pig, I'm sorry, but I ain't got nothing to give you. I'm sorry, but it's time to have a boucherie. A boucherie is where we butcher the hog. So the little song go like this.
se fait la vie, oh mes petits cochons, oh mes jolis. Mon bébé là, car quand tu m'as fait, mon bébé là, t'es pas choqué. Cochon, tu connais, ça fait malheur. Oui, mais t'as mangé quelque chose que j'ai. Oh, mes petits cochons, non, j'ai plus ma vie. Oh, mes cochons, on va pas la boucherie. Tu connais, ça fait malheur. Oui, mais t'as mangé quelque chose que j'ai. Oh, mes petits cochons, oh, j'ai plus failli. Oh, mes cochons, papa, la boucherie. La boucherie.
So a lot of this music, y'all, if you don't know about South Louisiana history, our people, the French came and settled South Louisiana many, many moons ago. And they were down there toward New Orleans, even up toward Natchitoches, Opelousas Post, and Attakapaw Post, which is not far from my house. These were all settled in the late, well, very early 1700s. But a lot of our people, when you hear the word Cajun, our people came from eastern Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward, and all that area. That was called Acadie in Canada, the Maritime provinces. And we were there from 1604, I believe, to 1755. 1755 is when the English came through, got in a big fight with the French. But the Acadian people that were living there didn't consider themselves French any more than anybody here would maybe consider yourself British or Scottish or Czech or whatever, nationality you descend from.
Czech!
Wait, all right. So they were all, the point is they'd all been there for multiple generations. They just considered themselves Acadians, right? So they kind of were neutral in the fight. They weren't really trying to play with all that mess. But the English ended up beating out the French for the land. And they asked the Acadians to swear loyalty to the crown, which they didn't give a shit. They were like, yeah, sure, whatever. But you couldn't be Catholic. You had to switch off of that. And I don't know if you met a bunch of old school Catholics, but that ain't gonna fly. So, Catholic! Woo! So the British ended up having to round everybody up, separate families, burn their houses, burn churches, kill the children, do whatever they had to do, throw everybody on some slave ships, prison ships, boat them and send them down the East Coast, send some back to France, send some to Saint-Domingue, modern-day Dominican Republic, areas like this. And they left them there, they were just exiles of the land. But at that time, Spain owned what was known as the Louisiana Territory, the central U.S. And the Spanish looked at it and they were like, hold on. These cats know how to farm some cows. And they ain't Catholic. Have we got a deal for you? See, everything west of New Orleans is all Attackapaw territory. And then people are real happy to bash in the head of anybody who is not one of them. The capital of Louisiana is named Baton Rouge, which means red stick, and that comes from a big stick that was in the area where they would tie up all these colonial people, and they bashed their head against the stick, and it was painted with blood, so it was called Baton Rouge, the red stick. So obviously the crown was like, hey, I'm not sending my little royal people over here, but these exiled people, we got some land. But what they didn't realize is the French coming out of Acadiana was a lot of Métis people already. A lot of them had bred with the Mi'kmaq. A lot of them was already part native. And the French had a very different view of settling a territory with indigenous peoples on it. They looked at it more as, you already know how to survive here. And your women are cute, so maybe we should just get married. And they did a lot of that. So it kind of worked out in their favor. Now, at the same time, you had Spanish people who were making settlements because of the Spanish territory at the time. And then you had free people of color coming out of New Orleans. So whether people had bought their freedom or they were the product of a Creole marriage or a
Let's just get to the point. It was downright colonial rape. The marriage stuff was sometimes like in the back of the woods and you had no one to intervene, but for the most part they raped them. That's how everyone became mixed.
This is very not true.
That's that. You cannot get past that, bro.
So there was obviously cases of rape, because this is just.
When you own another human being, you fuck them. That's just that. You can preach, but you can't teach, bro.
But there was always, especially in our area, in our families, my family specifically.
That's personal.
Lands and titles handed down because these families were intermarried. Anyhow, so you had free people of color, you had Spanish, you had Native, you had French, you had all these people coming together. And later you ended up having a German influx that came into what area we now call the German coast. Those Germans brought with them accordions that came around the turn of the century. Prior to that, you had drums, you had fiddles, and that was pretty much it. So the accordion came through, and this was a loud instrument, because this is in the days before amplification. If you was playing a big dance, people was way over there, you can't really hear a fiddle too much. A fiddle's not a real loud instrument. So they were real fascinated with this accordion. So around the turn of the century, a little man named Mr. Amadé Ardouin.
Little black man.
Little black man, correct. Little black man named Mr. Amadé Ardouin. Okay, go ahead. Tell us.
So the accordions were actually coming out of San Antonio, Texas, is where they were coming from, to Louisiana. And most people back in them days, they used German horner reeds until what happened was Germany was being attacked or whatever during the Second World War. So they started getting Italian reeds and getting Benji reeds and stuff like that. But the Germans that brought the accordions to Texas were coming from, the Germans that brought the accordion to Louisiana were actually coming from Texas. This is just a fact. So the accordion was made popular among Louisiana people by a little black man named Amadé. For the most part, the white people played fiddles, even though blacks and whites played fiddles always the way it's been.
Yeah.
But what made this popular style, this poppy style, would be Amadé Ardouin, people of his around him, like his dad. So what happens is one day Amadé, he's popular, playing all around, solo with other musicians, everything you can think of. It's very popular for playing with a Cajun musician, a white guy named Dennis McGee. But that don't mean nothing in the long case, because what happened is, playing these gigs with Dennis McGee, he got killed. A white woman came and wiped his face with a rag, and at the end of the whole thing, he was walking home, and they like jumped him and ran over his neck with a truck and beat his hands and shit like this. This is just a real story of what happened. So when he died, everybody started taking all of his songs and making this song and that song and mixing all these different parts together, calling it this and that, and making their own genres of music based off this old French Louisiana style by this little black man named Amadé Ardouin. Now, the melodies, they come from a big, like the whole colonial mix of everyone coming together. Yes, this is what you hear. But that music don't sound like people from France. It doesn't sound like it's straight from Africa. It doesn't sound like it's straight from Canada, nothing. It happened right there. But it happened because of these mix of people. And these are French people. Then you have the Acadians, and you have the Spanish and all that, and then you have the Native Americans, you have the African. The African was the biggest part that makes it Creole. That's where Creole comes from. So this song that we're about to play for y'all is a prime example of what that mix is, and you hear it in this song. It's not French, it's not Canadian. Just listen to it. It's actually singing about being home before the sun comes down years ago. So what does that make you think of? I learned this tune from listening to Canary Fontenot and playing with Boscoe Stomp. That's an old man that recorded this tune with Canary Fontenot who introduced this tune to the world.
Absolute heroes. If you don't know about them, look them up.
Bonsoir Moreau, bonsoir Moreau, bonsoir Moreau, bonsoir Moreau.
With a 3 whatever 4th pattern, however you want to call that, you know, it's blues. So the musician that I was just talking to y'all about a while ago, he recorded a tune back in 1927. His name is Jourdan. It's called the Midland Two-Step, and it's been recorded by many musicians after he died, but no one has ever done it as good as he did. And his words were so deep because he meant it. Like how you wrote your songs that happened in your life. Same thing with Amadei. These things were happening to him in his life at that time. So I can't sing his words and can't remember all of his words, but I'll make my own up. We're gonna play that song for y'all right now, the Midland Two-Step.
Sing what you feel, say.
That's right. If you ain't playing with your heart, you ain't playing at all. That's how I see it. That's right.
T'as quitté l'autre jour au soir, t'as venu juste en ce matin. Tu connais qui mange du lin, tu connais ça c'est pas bien. Et tu dis somebody's free. Mais t'as quitté le jour au soir et t'as venu juste à ce matin. Mais pour demander que je te pardonne, mais tu connais, ouais, c'est trop tard. Ah, c'est comme ça. Cher garçon, oh toi joli, toi tu restes pas loin ni moi du monde. Et tu connais, t'as plein de gaieté, et je vais ramener, ouais, voir tu prends. On n'a jamais tombé.
The lyrics are getting personal.
Yeah, these songs that he wrote, like, this is the way I see it. Those tunes are timeless. You see? Those songs that he did, and that the old people back in them days did, not only Amadei, there were many people back then that were amazing. Those melodies will never die, and that's a fact. It will never ever die, and it will always be strong, timeless.
A lot of our music in general, whether it be, because a lot of people don't realize, they look at South Louisiana and they say, oh, Zydeco music. What you're hearing right now, this is not Zydeco music. We got like 6 different genres of music at home. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's whole different categories from different eras, from different things. Anyway, but all of them have a heavy West African influence. A lot of our people, we Senegambian, we Congolese, we Bantu, we all these different things. And it's a real hard concept for American people to wrap their brains around. Because in the rest of America, it's strictly skin tone and you don't see nothing past that. But ours goes a lot further than that. And one of my favorite types of music that come out of those areas that you can find in the Senegambian region, in South Louisiana, in different parts of the Caribbean.
All over.
All over.
All over the black world.
All over the black world. You're going to find a lot of stuff
Similar.
that back home, would originally started out in the fields, it made its way to the porch, it made its way in the house. Next thing you know, it's at the dance. It was a little something called Jury. And it's a type of music, it's a call and response music.
That we just met a woman here earlier from the islands of Georgia.
Okay.
They have their own
right.
distinctive music in
Correct.
The Geechee Gullah culture. And in these old recordings, you can hear the call and response sounds the
All
same.
call and response. Very, very, very
They sing in
similar
English.
concept to how we do. Which just shows you where the roots of that go, you know what I mean? And anyhow, they had one day I was out there, I was building some fence for my horses next to my house. And it was the middle of July in South Louisiana, which Oklahoma's pretty warm. I don't know if you've ever been in South Louisiana in the middle of July. It's like the same temperature, but add about 600% humidity. So you're not about to cool off or dry off. Anyhow, and I'm out there and I'm in the sun and I'm hot and I'm sweating and I'm miserable and I'm bleeding. And I got to complaining. And I got to fussing. You know what I mean? I'm out there working by myself and boy, life is miserable. But then I stopped and I checked myself for a second. I said, you know, they got a lot of people in the world that would kill me for what I got right now. A lot of people in the world would kill me on the spot for what I got right now. I ain't got no business complaining. I ain't got no right to complain about nothing I got going on. And I think that holds true for just about everybody in this country.
That's right.
Wow.
So I kept swinging my little hammer, I kept pulling my wire, and I wrote a little something about that. And it ended up becoming a little jury, a little something called the Blues of Reconnaissant, the Grateful Blues. A little something like that.
Jury means to testify, y'all.
Please give it up for Mr. Cedric Watson.
Cedric Watson, yo.
Be quiet.
Cedric Watson, a whole king.
I'm blushing.
I'm lucky to call this man a brother. He's my children's uncle. We've been family a long time. That's my people. And I'm very,
He's my
very
son's
fortunate.
godfather.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Very, very fortunate to be able to play music with these people. Honestly, between them two alone, they got more Grammys and Grammy nominations than what you could expect coming out of an entire state. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and that's just between them two. It's very impressive. I'm very, very fortunate for my country ass to be hanging out with these impeccable people. Because our Lord knows I ain't nobody. So it's very nice. But anyhow, we mentioned Mr. Canary Fontenot earlier. I used to listen to this song Mr. Canary played called Les Bases de la Prison. And I wanted to play it so bad. But no matter how many times I would sit and play it didn't never come out like him. And I don't mean a little bit different. I mean, he played it in a 3/4 time, I'm playing it in 4/4 time. He's singing it like that, I'm singing like it's a whole completely different thing. And not intentionally, I was trying to play it like him, it's just my body don't want to put it out the way he put it out. And I felt real silly about it for a long time. I was very embarrassed by the fact that I just could not play this song like him, and I never wanted to play it in front of people. Until one day I seen an interview that he did either in the late 70s or early 80s. And a man had come and they asked him about this song. They said, we want you to play this song, and he played. And he said, they said, now did you make that song? He said, oh no, I didn't make that song. I heard Douglas Bellard play that song. He said, but I couldn't play it like him, so I just played it my own way. And ain't nothing ever made me feel better about doing something wrong than that. So I look at it and I said, well damn it, I'm gonna play that song. And I played it, and Joel and I would play it together, and we'd travel around, and the people would enjoy it, but every time we'd finish, they'd always want to ask me what I was singing about. So I took on the task of translating this song into English. It's the only song I really sing in English. And I don't know if anybody speaks 2 languages, I don't care what 2 languages they are. Trying to translate a song is about the hardest damn thing you're ever gonna do. Because it's a different amount of syllables, words don't rhyme, it just falls apart, you understand? So I spent a lot of time trying to put this together, and but I feel like it came together good. So what I'll do, I'll sit here and I'll sing it the way it's supposed to be first, and then I'll come back and I'll give it to y'all in English to where you can follow what we got going on. It's a little something called Les Bases de la Prison. Let me check my phone.
Entrer dans ta cave, à ce je suis colonnier pour la balance de ma vie, la prison. Ma chair et mon nom à ça, mise des genoux. C'est la tête en plein poumon. Elle dit hey garçon, on va jamais t'es loin. Toi t'étais colonnier pour la balance de ta vie. Mal la prison. That's why I was condemned for the rest of my days to the penitentiary. My poor old mama, she was down on her knees with both hands on her head, saying, oh God, please. She said, oh, hey, my little boy, I never see you again, 'cause you was condemned for the rest of your days to the penitentiary. I say, hey, Mom, don't cry for me, pray for your child, save his soul from the flames of hell, the flames of hell.
Yeah, please give it up for Mr. Jourdan Thibodeaux.
Mr. JT Jourdan Thibodeaux himself, y'all. All the way from the Cypress Island to be here with y'all in Tulsa, Louisiana.
I just wanted to say a couple things before my two favorite South Louisiana personalities go at it again. Where we come from, so many people don't even acknowledge hardly.
That's sad.
You know, it's true.
That's
The
sad.
mastery of these two guys as songwriters, which I think is the most cool thing. It's the most important thing. It's the thing that will make the music and the culture live on forever. And I think it's, I'm just blown away by these guys writing songs in this style. I mean, this music that they're playing here really could be 100 years old. They would have been Amadeo Artemis contemporaries. Imagine.
He would have poisoned our asses, bro.
He probably would have poisoned it because they're too good. They have a lot of courage creating new music in a traditional environment. I just want to give them props for doing so.
But the props, actually, we need to give you some props. First of all, this guy, don't let him fool you. He's like one of the best fiddlers in all of Louisiana, if not all of the South, and not all of America.
And it's a weird thing to stand on stage playing fiddle and knowing you're the worst fiddle player in the band. And that's not being silly. That's not me being like, oh, let me humble on these.
I feel the same way when
These
Joel
are
plays.
champions of fiddle. I don't care what genre of music in the world. World-class fiddle players will tell you these are two of the best fiddle players in the world. And I gotta sit there and be like,
Thank you, Jordan.
am I playing the right notes? They're like, you wrote the song, man. I'm like, shit, okay.
I gotta say this about Joel. Not only does he come from a family of people that have a lot to do with why this music exists today. His daddy is the best.
That's a fact.
The best. This kind of accordion you see right here, I didn't heard him on other kind of accordions too. It's pretty good. But this accordion right here, he is the best in South Louisiana. That's just hands down. I don't care what yours is.
No matter who it is, that's not a debate. Anybody will tell you that.
Another thing is what his mom and dad has done for the music and the preservation of the language, the music, and also these older musicians who we've been talking about, we haven't even reached nowhere near. Like, there's so many. They have recorded these people and documented them, and that's why we know a lot of these things that we know. It's because of your family. It's because of you. The first album that I've ever recorded, ever, professional album, he had just started a record label called Valco Records, and Corey Leday and I recorded the album on Valco Records, the first album ever. And to this day, it sells like hotcakes.
Yeah.
It's the best one.
Another thing, back whenever I used to be a beginner on the fiddle, couldn't even hardly play, I knew like probably 10 songs or something. Joel would be sitting in a jam in random Virginia, anywhere, and he'll look at me, and other great fiddlers like Kevin Wimmer and other people like that, they'll look at me and be like, your turn. So this is what you call just like, it's just that sense of that togetherness, and that, we're keeping this alive. And we're doing this, yes, we do make a living doing what we're doing, but we do it because it's passion. Because if I could switch a switch and not do this for a living, I'd probably do something else.
But you can't help yourself.
I would keep it around, but not do it for a living.
Didn't mean for this to turn into Love Fest, but do love these guys, and we all love each other. I hope y'all are having a great time.
Both of us, you are somebody, bro. And you need to know this. I appreciate what you're saying about us too, but man, you are someone. I like to call you the devil, but I don't mean that. You're actually an angel on the fiddle.
Anyway, we also want to thank Michael Costa for having us here, who I've known since I was 18 years old. That's a long time ago now.
I've been knowing you since I was 19. I'm 40 now. I'm old, bro. I love it.
It's great to be here. It's the only other Tulsa experience I've ever had was about 7 or 8 years ago at the Cain's Ballroom with Pokey LaFarge on the Central Time tour. It's wonderful to be back and to see what's happening downtown. Scott and I were talking about it earlier. Where we come from, Lafayette, Louisiana, that area is also kind of in a renaissance. People are starting to support and recognize what we have there, and it's happening here too. It's great to see that. So
The festivals are so free you can afford any restaurant you want to go to. Y'all just come on down to Lafayette, Louisiana. Y'all know us. You probably meet somebody to where you don't have to get a hotel because you'll make a family within a day or two.
Somebody will invite you to supper.
That's just how it is.
And we have this amazing musician friend. She does everything. She sings, she plays everything. She can do anything that
She's a badass.
if you challenge her to do anything, she can do it. And she's just wonderful person, wonderful musician. She's here tonight on tour. She's playing in town tomorrow night, but we'd like to bring her up just to play the frickin' triangle, just for fun on this thing.
Come on, Tip.
Miss Tip Langston.
Come on,
God, I've known Tiff since I was like 13 years old, I think. We used to ride bicycles all the way across town over to Tiff's house. And now I'm running into her in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Life is really, really weird. It really is. Anyhow, there's a little song about my childhood, a little something called Batailleur, which means a fighter.
right, you got me on that one, bro.
But we can do a little something off the first album. A little something about a woman that ain't around no more. There's something called Tipa La, You're Not Dead. Yeah, Belle Menteuse, that's a beautiful lie. So I don't know if you know this, but South Louisiana, we got some of the finest women in the world. Look, Creole women is about some of the finest damn women you gonna see. I'm just telling y'all. The only Oklahoma, the only one y'all probably know is like Beyonce or something. But I'm just telling y'all, that's like everybody down your street at home, and it's real good looking women. But
they will hurt you.
They hateful. They some hateful women. And they bad. They real bad.
Don't mess with me, Joanne.
But what you gonna do? I mean, they fine like that. What you gonna do? I mean, you just take it for what it is. Anyway, I wrote a little something about that little woman out of Nina, Louisiana. Little something called Belle Menteuse. Go let something like this.
amis ce soir, mais ils savaient la vérité que ça les concernait chez moi. On a payé le tour, dans notre chicken journée, on a payé le tour. Dans nos baguettes toilettes, à la maison, c'était quand tu vas arrêter. Tout le monde les a payés, c'est prêt, on continue. On a payé le tour, dans nos chicken journée, on a payé le tour.
Get to you. Put it on one time, boy.
That this music started in Louisiana. For the most part, it was violins and triangles. So we got the heavy metal section of the group right there. Tiffany, Miss Teddy, one of the best drummers and singers like that I know from the area. She's
bad to the bone, yo.
She plays drums with Shania Twain. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, make some noise. Yeah, that's what she's doing her thing with Shania Twain. And this song is called Jogue Plombeau, the one I'm gonna start it off with. That means my whiskey on my saddle horn. Okay, my jug of whiskey on my saddle horn. Then he's gonna take off with a tune called Blues de Balfa. See, the one I'm singing about says your parents don't want nothing to do with me, and they don't want you to be with me because I'm a drunk. So since they don't want me, and you keep listening to them, I'll just keep on rolling on and on with my horse and my whiskey hanging from my saddle horn. And then his song says
that I went out to find you, and I made up my mind I was gonna go look for you. And
what you see?
And how I was gonna die bleeding, I was gonna.
What you see when you got to the house, though?
But once I got to the house, I find you with another man.
You didn't grab the shotgun?
But nonetheless, it's got the last verse. It's got one of my favorite verses in all the music. He says, "If I'd have 5 days left to live, I would give up 3 out of the 5 just to spend the other 2 with you. I want to die in your arms."
That's so sweet.
Anyhow, that's some old music. But it go a little something like this.
Mon cœur fait du mal, n'a plus personne qui veut m'aimer, plus personne qui veut me soigner. Toi j'arrive, pauvre qui vient par rejoindre ton bien-aimé, là-bas aussi loin. Quand j'ai roulé dans le chemin avec un jogue au flambeau et un cadet dans la poche. Était fâché, il t'a dit m'appelait c'est mambo cher. Ton papa il t'est fâché, il t'a dit pour les tigrons, ta maman était fâchée, ça m'appelait c'est mambo cher. Et dis-moi encore, tu peux merci à ton papa, ton aïeux pour séparer, tu peux merci à ta maman, ça m'a plu, c'est m'embaucher, j'ai m'embauché d'une balade avec un jogue au Plombeau et un caddie dans la poche.
Cedric Watson on that fiddle. Got Miss Tiff Lamson on the guitar. Big T.
Nick shows us show.
Yo, if y'all don't know about South Louisiana, look, I gotta tell people all the time, it's not the southernmost part of the U.S., we're the northernmost part of the Caribbean. We Latin America, man. It's a whole different world. If you don't know, come visit, you're gonna find out.
Y'all come on down to the Dixieland meets the Caribbeans.
That's the best part for us. We get to travel around the country, and every time we leave like an hour and a half from our house, you're in a whole other country, and that's easy. That's fun.
Well, back there where you live, though, people our age speak Creole and French.
Oh yeah. My grandmother never left the state until she was 71, I think. My uncle took her on a trip, and they went out the state. That was her first time outside Louisiana.
Only 45 minutes from Baton Rouge.
So it's wild. It's wild traveling around and seeing all the different kind of people and how everybody is, and I feel very fortunate to be able to sit here with y'all today.
And I don't think maybe that any of us would have had the opportunity to do this without the Oklahoma roots.
Yes.
Honestly, if you come to Louisiana and say, I saw y'all in Tulsa, we'd be so excited to see where we come from. We'd probably end up like living with it. I mean, it happens all the time. It's like,
gonna happen? You know what I mean? The women followed Joel to Louisiana. And
I'm a married man, dude. I got a baby on the way. Come on.
no, but really, come to Louisiana. Just follow us.
This is something called the Flames of Hell.
The Flames of Hell.
The Flames of Hell.
All of us.
Can y'all say this? Les flammes. Les flammes. That means the flames. De l'enfer.
The Flames of Hell.
The flames of hell, baby, yo! Now, keep in mind that Mother Mary loves you. Mother Mary loves all of you. Shit, what song is this? Oh, shit.
The wine is very good in this bar.
J'ai cogné à la porte, il dit qui c'est qui est là, mais c'est ton élève. J'ai été privé, priez pour moi, priez pour moi, sauvez mon âme, sauvez mon âme, ne me plante pas, priez pour moi, bébé, pour sauver mon âme. Priez pour moi, de sauver mon âme.
Mexican,
plaider, soit des dragons. Mais y'aura une petite fille, qui est la plus belle. Elle va te ramasser, mais pour un bon temps. Priez pour moi, sauvez maintenant. Quand j'y condamné, va me les prendre. Priez pour moi, me sauver maintenant. Moi je suis condamné pour la balance de ma vie.
Dans le cimetière, et un cerveau, dans le coin de la clos, bébé, le coin de la clos, j'ai mon papa.
Take it down to the swamp, y'all. Make some noise. You gotta listen to the crowd.
Cedric Watson, Mr. Joel Savoy, Miss Tiff Larson.
And Jourdan Thibodeaux, y'all.